Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is ep2. This is my second video of playing the expansion pack for Company of Heroes 2, the Ardennes pack, which is a new single player campaign. So let's get back right to it. Right. Again, I would never use these light tanks normally in multiplayer. They're just too weak against other tanks and too vulnerable to Panzerschreck equipped German infantry. That's one of the things I really love about the American faction, is those you can take your crew out of the vehicles and get them to repair them. I think it's a very useful little innovation. What's this? Transfer orders. Okay, see that later. Maybe it'll tell me to do it later on, but I'll order myself a medical truck for the moment. So. Okay.
Good shot. Target down. Load up a rocket. The rest of you, let's get moving.
So I've got 2 bars and a bazooka just to help out the M10 if we run into more than one tank. Because again, that looks like a tank there, but it's not really. It's an American tank hunter. It's an M10 Wolverine. They're kind of like snipers. They're, you know, better at hitting, but they're not as good at taking at all, or taking damage compared to. I mean, the bog standard Sherman takes more punishment than the M36 does, which is what you get access to in multiplayer. But that's not as formidable. The M10 Wolverine, it's a more basic unit.
Ready. Send orders. Ready those medical bags. Enemy help out whoever you can.
Okay. Just healing up these guys. I might as well order one of these fellas in here. Because I've got so much requisition. So ratio. Okay, let us advance.
Let's go. Get us over to that new position. Where the hell? That thing firing at us? Kill it! Cut those assholes down! Ready! Power plant hit!
All 105 batteries are reporting. Ready to coordinate barrage.
Combat promotion AIA! Armor ready! Crowd infantry! Go! 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 Let's get a move on! Enemy infantry! Yeah! That way, go! Ready! Send! Send! Over!
I hate those German guys. Well, I don't know how you pronounce the name for them, but they just... Oh, they're just so lethal. They're just so unbelievably overpowered.
Promotion just came through! Incoming fire! Armor ready! Get it moving! God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
Okay. So it's still going. Let's see if I can capture this capture point over here just for the hell of it. Again, me being a bit on the perhaps anal retentive side, but
Come on! Enemy infantry! Forward on!
may not be the mission I've been specifically given, but I might.
Go ahead! Crowds are dead! Order! Run! Get over there! Heavy MG! him coming! Orders! Move, goddammit! Ready.
They're all fueled up with engines warm. Armored support group
Ooh.
ready for deployment.
Oh, it's got an area repair special ability, this vehicle. So repair for some custom munitions, it can
Squad, get ready! They're cooked!
recover the, or repair,
Locker, driver.
it can repair friendly vehicles. That was a pretty useful thing to have.
Point!
Oh, I can now call in 2 MI5 Stewarts as well. Okay. I'm going to use the Stewart light tank as kind of forward reconnaissance.
German infantry! Steady up. Okay, move it along. Our supply line just got cut off. Armor ready. Driver.
Okay.
It's over to that point.
Damn good to see you boys.
Everything's going to shit over here. Crowds are moving in from the north and east.
I say we give you cover and let's get the men out of Rockarat.
Agreed.
Okay, listen up. Airborne is gonna fall back along the road back to the HQ. Provide supporting fire along the way as they move.
Bastano, you take the first group and guide them back to the base. I'll bring up the second group once you've pushed off.
Yes, sir. First group, on me!
Bust out the metal,
Let's
boys.
go. Get us over to that dude's position.
Yeah! They're cooked!
Okay. The problem is one of they're attacking from either side, and I have to cover their retreat.
Under fire! Ready. Driver, move out. Moving up! Field promotion! Taking fire! Targets in motion!
Okay.
Second group, get ready.
Keep that area covered and cleared.
Go, go, go!
Off and listen up. Bazooka team, get center of the file and move out. Taking fire! You ready to roll out?
Okay, get back here at those guys.
Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, that's all of us. I'm covering the rear.
All right, get that infantry back here, but keep that corridor open.
Did it. That round got him. Go! For it! Field promotion!
Ambush! Keep moving! Keep moving!
Now! Ready!
Anti-tank grenade.
Jackson!
Ground!
Keep moving!
Light vehicle just got destroyed. We lost power! Set over. We're cooking! Light vehicle just got destroyed.
Okay, run.
Get the hell out of here! Boom!
So I've lost my Wolverine.
All remaining units reporting in.
Where the hell
Yeah.
is Jackson?
Derby, any sign of Jackson out there?
We lost sight of them falling back. Germans are everywhere back there.
Germans are pouring in more troops. What's the plan?
Fall back. Ain't no more use wasting lives here. We'll link up with whoever's left and figure out what in the hell just hit us. Coordinated defense.
Crew ready. Make ready.
Later call in those light guns. So far, so good. And again, I didn't get far into this.
16th of December 1944, a massive artillery barrage caught Allied forces off guard, signaling the start of an unexpected German counteroffensive in the quiet Ardennes forests. Their intention: split the Allied lines in half and ultimately claim the valuable harbor at Antwerp. Their timing is impeccable. With the cold winds of winter blowing in, our superior air forces have been grounded, and the Germans are taking full advantage of the situation. 2 full panzer divisions hit the weakly defended Lausanne Gap along a 45-mile front, driving deep into Belgium and Luxembourg. Within 24 hours of the Germans unleashing their desperate offensive, the initiative in the battle for Europe completely changed hands. The 5th Panzer Division attacked Bastogne and St. Vite, aiming to capture these strategic road junctions and secure their hold on the region. U.S. forces now scramble to stem the tide of Germans pouring into Allied territory. Though our lines may have bent, our men will not break. The German offensive will be turned back.
So that mission was basically the prologue then. Yeah, it does a better job than the first campaign did. So it seems to so far anyway. Although again, didn't complete the first campaign because didn't seem very good when I played parts of it, and crucially the Russians, or not the Russians, sorry, the reviews at the time were quite positive for the multiplayer, but quite negative for the single player. Right, Ardennes assault. Choose 3 companies. Okay. So, Derby. Abilities. Man the defenses. Infantry and cavalry will receive defensive bonuses for a short duration. Affects units in frontline sectors. Player on sectors adjacent to enemy points. The engineers called. Field defenses. Artillery. Orders artillery batteries to target vehicles in the indicated area. Okay, that's pretty cool. To increased accuracy upgrades for the infantry also gain bonus to accuracy for the duration of the ability. Okay. Okay, so this ability you can unlock upgrades for it. Oh, does it cost more though? To use that, makes it more expensive. That's a bit of a negative. So I have to choose which ones you want to use. Okay. Okay, so these 2 reduce the cost. So the first ones to go for. Specializations. Cheap team weapons. All team weapons cost less to train. So I think would mean machine guns, mortars, AT guns. Company advancing the support company earns company veterancy faster. Bazooka supplies. The support company begins the game with bazooka's weapon rack unlocked. Okay, that's also very useful. Well, sort of. Those costs aren't terribly high. Abundant all-team weapons take up less population, gain another advantage. Assault engineers and the 75mm howitzer, which if it's anything like it is in the multiplayer and the single or the multiplayer mode, is kind of useless. So not very effective. I much prefer to have mortars. I can go through that later. Doesn't have any impact on Baker Company. Combined arms. Off-map cavalry rifleman. The ability for spending by send a pair of tanks to provide immediate armored support. Stewards are useless against tanks though, so that's not a great thing. Cavalry riflemen. The Thompson submachine guns are trained for close quarters combat. Okay, those are close quarter meat grinder units. Okay. M10 Wolverine tank destroyer and the M3 half track. Machine gun provides good firepower. Yeah. So support infantry. What do we get here? Calls in a squad of airborne paratroopers on a target location. Paratroopers can specialize in long-range or short-range combat with weapon upgrades. Okay. Call in a strafing run for 50 munitions. Drops a supply crate on the target location, which can be picked up by allied forces. And rocket runs. Specializations, infiltrate pathfinders, fast capture, assassinator, but it's going to assassinate ability and then to take down specific targets. Extra manpower munitions units are the paratroopers, which are actually pretty effective when upgraded with submachine guns, and pathfinders. So, cheap support units, M10 Wolverine, very good kind of de facto close quarters infantry because they've all got Thompson submachine guns. But, you know, yeah, 700 requisition for 2 tanks, but they're Stuart light tanks. Might be useful against infantry, but they're not going to be, or light vehicles, not going to be trouble for tanks. Rangers. Oh. Pinpoint artillery. Cluster bombs. Ooh. Company requisition. Command releases additional support, providing additional manpower. Grants 800 manpower, okay, for 100 munitions. Deploy Rangers. Calls on a squad of Rangers to be deployed to battlefield. Reserves are an elite unit can train all aspects of combat, such as marksmanship and demolitions. Squads can carry 2 additional special weapons. Okay, extra capacity, so you can load them up with bazookas to make them really lethal at killing tanks and or killing infantry, or a mix of both. Grenade supplies. Grenades are unlocked immediately at company HQ, and grenade abilities have reduced cost. That's another advantage. Veteran medic squads that are vet will heal slowly while out of combat. Okay. Useful again. But right. I assume they have more units than this. Pardon me if you heard that. Pardon me again. My one concern is that can't be the only units they have access to, because these guys have got, let's see, that only is, that's 2 specific units that are unique to them. So I think certainly my viewpoint is that these guys are kind of superfluous, unless the M10 Wolverine is really cheap to produce, because the M36 is effectively the same thing but better armed, and I think better armored with a longer range gun. Those infantry are kind of useful, but yeah, special abilities aren't. Let's check the other. Let's just check it out. Okay. So you can upgrade your paratroopers, you can cost reduction, add a safety cal drops alongside the paratroopers to provide ground support. Okay, that's cool. Add a second squad. A second squad of paratroopers drops alongside the first. Cost is increased by 200 for that, but yeah. Suppression. So performs a straightforward try and just press any enemies in the drop zone. Okay, that's cool. Oh, so you can basically drop them right on top of the enemy then, and use the plane will cut them to suppress them on the ground, and then once your infantry land, they can cut them to pieces. Blind drop. Most of flies head to scout the area, allowing airborne to drop into the fog of war. Okay. So I think this dude here with the infantry, I mean, yes, that kind of ability to call that vehicle and one of those squads equipped with submachine guns is good, but yeah, the tanks are kind of ability is kind of useless, and I assume we can build M36 as well, so I think I'll take this guy for the cheap support squads, and the ability to specifically target tanks in particular area with air power and destroy them. I'll take him, and plus the ability to boost defenses. Okay. So I'll select him. Don't really think much of this guy, so I'll go with this fellow. I may end up regretting that if I somehow don't have access to proper anti-tank capabilities or proper tanks. And then I suppose I'll take him, and I'll choose 3 companies, and I have to huh? What? So first of the company Rangers. £4. That's no choice at all. That's absolutely no choice at all. Let's bugger that. Oh, bloody hell. No thanks. So, I can't pick him at all. So that's no choice at all. That sucks. That's a total illusion. Effectively. Unless you spend an extra £5, you can't get them. So that's, you know, it's one thing you want to buy skins and stuff like that, but that, you know, and to do it in such a blatant way, it's really really bloody well bothers me. Right. Okay, I think on this irritable note, I'll just end this video here, and then I'll continue on playing and continue on recording in an additional video. Yeah, that's really that's. I know there was a good bit of DLC for this, like, but we didn't know, like, you could. Well, for this and Company of Heroes 2 in general, but bloody hell, that's a bit shite. That really is. So far so good apart from that, but that is kind of a bad leaves a bad impression. Certainly so far seems to be better than the single player campaign that came with the game originally. You're playing as the Russians. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and follow me on Twitter at, I believe, SheDaYounger, all one word, for for updates on what videos I've got coming up or uploaded, and my general thoughts on things. Toodaloo.